Hey everyone, this is Pluto here. Welcome back to another video. So yesterday, Wallaru released on Teststone. This is the newest Wizard101 world. I'm in Wallaru right now. As you can see, I am level 170. I completed all the quests. I got to the final area, which is right now the Dreaming. That's where the spoiler wall is. I've completed Wallaru, and in this video, I wanted to give my first thoughts on the world, just questing through it. What I thought of it. Was it easy? Was it hard? Just all of that stuff. So, the first thing I want to say, this world is a short world. You are not going to have a very long and grindy question experience here. This world is actually shorter than Caramel. In my opinion, it's shorter than Lemuria and shorter than Novus. It is the shortest of those of the four worlds. It is the shortest. I got done with Wallaru in about maybe 4.5 hours. Which is very, very quick, very speedy. Now, this is up to the spoiler wall. There could be a lot more questing behind the spoiler wall, but we don't know about it yet. But as of the part in Teststrom, only 4.5 hours. It was really quick, went by really fast. It was really short-lived. Unfortunately, there is not a general map, but we do have some areas that I can take you to, which I will once I find the truck guy. There's a new teleporter called, I believe it's the truck or something like that. I'll have to find it somewhere. I believe it's over here. Yeah, I believe it's somewhere around here. I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. It's right. I think that's it right over here. So yeah, I quested through all of Wallaru yesterday. In Wallaru, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 areas, 7 if you count the Dreaming, so 7 areas. The first area, oh wait, I also forgot, oh wait, no, they don't have, Kingsland on here. Okay, well, we'll just take to the Outback. They don't have Kingsland on here, but Kingsland is another world, is another area of Wallaru. This is the Outback, one of my personal favorite areas. I love the music here, I love the atmosphere. This is probably my favorite area. I love how it's just like open world. I love this area a lot. I think it's really well made. I can just like wander around here forever, it feels. And I really like these mobs over here, the emo riders. They're emo like punk riders. I really love them. So I have to say, my favorite thing about Wallaru was definitely the music. As you can hear, the music in this area is just so peaceful. I'm actually going to stay silent for about 20 seconds and just let the music play. So here's the Wallaru music. So yeah, as you can see, the Wallaru music is actually fantastic. It is so peaceful. I love the atmosphere of this world. I love this little like dust thing that just comes across the Outback every once in a while when you quest. You just run through it. I love it. This area is one of my favorite worlds in Wizard101 in general. It reminds me a lot of Aeroplanes and Imperia. Just an open world. I can wander around forever. It's a really nice looking area. The next major area, there was another area similar to this called Kingsland. It's not actually in the Traveler's Truck, but the next area of Wallaru was the Wagon Territory, which you go to after you complete the Outback and you complete Kingsland. And look at the skybox in this place. This is just beautiful. Wallaru kind of has two areas that kind of look very similar. You have like the nighttime Wallaru, which is like this beautiful starry skybox. I mean, look at that. And then you have the Outback, more daytime areas. So I'll turn the music up over here and I'll let you guys listen to it. So yeah, I find the music here to be also just be really beautiful. I love the music of Wallaru. My favorite thing about Wallaru by far is the music. And I think Nelson Everhart did an amazing job. If Nelson Everhart was the composer behind his tracks, this music is beautiful. I love it. I love just this world is really well made. So I'm not gonna go to the eucalyptus forest as it's essentially very similar to this, but I am gonna go to this area, the Billabong Resort. This is probably my favorite area, or one of my favorite areas. Not my favorite. I think Outback's my favorite, but this is up there for sure. Very similar looking to the Kali Ranch, the eucalyptus forest, and the Wagon Territory. However, the music here is this jazzy piano, which I'm not even going to try and describe it, just listen to it. So yeah, just this really awesome jazzy piano. Another thing I want to say, this is actually the new reagent for Wallaru. I believe this is probably going to be in the new gear for crafting it. It's called Dreamstone. You can find it pretty much everywhere. I found Dreamstone. I found it quite frequently, just while questing. I think I found like 4 or 5 of them in each area about when I was questing through it. So they're pretty common, I believe. But yeah. This area is really awesome. It's just this giant resort. I'm actually not sure if you can go in here, can you? No, you can't actually go in. But really cool jazz piano that I just found it to be awesome. I really loved it. But yeah. The next thing I would like to talk about in Wallaru has to do with kind of just the questing in general. The questing here is super easy. You're not going to find many hard boss fights. I can think of maybe 2 boss fights where me and my questing group had a little bit of trouble on it. I can maybe think of 2, but not really that many boss fights that are going to be really hard. There's one that has like this invulnerability cheat where I think it was a little bit bugged. Sometimes it didn't give us the Pierce aura to beat it, sometimes it did. It just depends. It seemed like a little buggy, but yeah. The next thing I would like to talk about is the new Wallaru spells. These spells are game changers. These are game changer spells for Wizard101. These AoEs are for every single scroll except Balance. Sorry, Balance. For every single scroll, this new AoE that you get, this 3 pips and a scroll pip AoE, is the best AoE out there for your school in general. You can cast it on the first turn, 5 pips, cast it first turn, kills pretty much everything. This AoE literally killed almost every single mob just by itself. And you have to also keep in mind I was using Hyper Elixir as well. I was using Elixir, so keep that in mind. But with the new gear that you get in Wallaru, where there's a 20% damage increase, which I'll get to that in a minute, you're going to be killing mobs in every world by first turn now. It's crazy. If you're even, this is for your soloing. If you're duoing, you're already killing first turn. So if you're just soloing, it's just a massive buff. It's really helpful. I find that I also really like them. My favorite one of the new AoEs definitely has to be the Myth one. I think the Myth one with the fire and the Drop Bear. I think it's called Drop Bear's Fury. That one is so cool. The Ice one is awesome as well. The Storm one is by far really, really good. The Balance one is also really well made. The reason why Balances isn't as good as the others is because you need 2 scroll pips, and if you don't know, it's not actually possible to get 2 scroll pips on the first turn, so you're going to be using that turn 2 anyways. Still a decent spell, but I don't think it's better than Powering Over. But yeah, now we're going to talk about the new gear which you can check out, which is by Aegon Stats. Now, I might make a video in itself reviewing this new gear, but I will be doing gear guides as well, like I did for Novus. But I just wanted to talk about a little bit about this new gear here. So, if you go to Hephaestus Test Shop, which is right here, you can go to Equipment Shop, and this is the new gear. Now, looking at it at a glance, this gear is the exact same as Aeon gear. There is actually no difference between this gear and Aeon gear, except for this. You get a spell. You get Galvanic Field, which then doesn't make it better. Technically, yes. Am I going to be farming for this gear in particular? No, I'm not going to be farming for this. Unless they make it better than Aeon, I'm not going to be farming just for a Galvanic Field. Now, these sword trims, right, they're the exact same shield, one shield, 2 sword, the exact same. I don't see myself farming for this gear, even though technically I guess it's the best because it gives the Galvanic Field. I don't use Galvanic Field, really, so I'm not going to farm for it. The robes is a very similar case. Now, I don't have my robe equipped. I'm using Knowledge Robe, but I believe the robes are also the exact same. This robe does give a blade, however, so do keep that in mind. If you're using the Novus robe or the Aeon robe, you might want to swap it out just because of the fact that the fierce... what are these called? The Dream Stalker, or the Dream Gear. That's the Dream Armor. Yes, the Dream Gear. We can call this the Dream Gear. The Dream Gear does give a blade, which is actually kind of useful, in my opinion, because this is like, you see, you got 40 blade here, 45 blade. It'll be dependent on your school for sure, but I mean, like, that's a pretty good buff, having that extra blade. And then the boots just give a trap. Again, I don't use traps as much, so I'm not really concerned about it. But yeah, the wands are also the same. However, this wand, I believe, this one gives a Stormwing, which is kind of cool, and a Catalan. Pretty much the exact same, though. Not really much different, in my opinion. Actually, no, they're not. They're actually kind of worse. Oh yeah, they actually are worse, aren't they? Huh. Yeah, this one isn't. Wait, this one actually is better. Wait, no, it's not. Is it? This one might be slightly better, actually. Yeah, I think it actually is. I think this is slightly better. I think this 18, 12, that's 30 damage. So that's better than this. That's 1% more damage. Still 9 Pierce. 68. So this is 135. So 68 plus 68. That's 136, I believe. Yeah. This wand is better, actually. So we do have an upgraded wand. The the Dream Reaver Boomerang. Or the Dream Boomerang, the Dream Wand, which is actually better. So this is where I wanted to come in. These themes and rings are direct upgrades. 1% more damage. Same health and everything, but they are 1% more damage. So you would gain that 3% more damage if you upgrade Wand, a Theme, and Ring. Now this is where we're going to be getting into the massive changes here. As you can see, we now have a circle and triangle socket on an amulet. That is insane. That is amazing. You can now put Pierce Jewels or a triangle jewel on an amulet in Wallaru. These new amulets are massive. And there's also a square and triangle one too if you want a more defensive strategy instead of an offensive one. But these new circle jewels are going to be insane to have. And I will get to the new jewels in a second. Furthermore, you also have a circle jewel on your new deck, which also gives you a star blade, which is another blade that you can use that gives you a storm blade, which is really awesome just for questing. It can be really helpful to put that in your sideboard. And yeah, this new deck is insane. It gives us circle slot, which we've never had in a deck before. And because you won't really be needing pip chance or accuracy on these anymore, you can now run more damage. And when we get to that, look at these new jewels. There are new jewels now that give 10% damage, 53 critical. Furthermore, you also have your Pierce jewels as well, 6% crit. But 10% damage jewels in Wizard101 is insane. You also have these new health jewels that give 500 health, which is crazy because if you look at like other pieces of gear, right? Like we have other pieces of gear that use square sockets, I think. Yeah, this, your ring. Your ring will always give you a square slot, so you'll have just an extra 500 health. Just plain, just out there. 500 extra health. And yeah, I find this to be amazing. The only complaint I think I might actually have. Oh, so there's also blocking jewels, which are actually give a lot amount of block, and that's good for PvP. I don't really see myself using this in PvE, but this is really good for PvP users, I'd imagine. And this extra health would be very helpful for PvE. So overall, just massive upgrade. Look at this. You have like 10 Shad Pip rating, which actually might be the most useful thing to put on a triangle socket. We'll see. Might be the most useful. We also have Arch Mastery here. Just amazing new jewels all around. Really awesome. I find this update is going to change the gear meta a lot in PvE. I will be making a gear guide once this comes to live realm, and I get all of it, of course. Again, this is all in test realm, so keep in mind this is all subject to change. They might change the gear, they might work it around a little bit, make nerf it, buff it, maybe they'll change it up a little bit. We'll have to see, we'll have to all just wait and see. But overall, I am really happy with how Wallaru came out. This loading screen is fantastic. I mean, look at San Diego Dreaming, the night sky. I love this loading screen. This is the final area, the Dreaming, which is where we will leave off. This is where the spoiler wall is, Freddy's domain. The last boss of Wallaru is, so far, Freddy Croaker. I believe that's the final boss. So far, we will get to the final boss eventually. But yeah, this world is really well made. Amazingly well done. I really appreciate KI for this world. I have put this world as a solid B, maybe A tier. I have to see the ending, depends on how it all ends. But I would put it right now at a B tier. Probably going to move it up to an A tier. We will do another tier list at the end of the year, once I have a little bit more hindsight and have quested through the world more. But overall, Wallaru, solid world. Go play it in test realm if you have the chance, if you have the opportunity to. Really good world. I would give it maybe like an 8 or 9 out of 10. Really well made. I like this world a lot. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.